Hi Leo, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. And this is your monthly forecast for May 2014. Leos, we begin this month with a transit, that is your new moon that is lighting up in Taurus, and it is transiting your 10th house. That's the house of career, it's the house of authority, it is also the house as to how it is that you're perceived in the society. A lot of you will be networking extensively, you will be getting invited to a lot of parties, and they would not just be social gatherings, but it would have to do with your work as well. I think a lot of VIPs or people who matter in the corporate or in the business world will be taking notice of you. This is also a great time that you will be having new opportunities to achieve more career heights and more social standing. So I think a lot of you are actually going to be going out and maybe get involved in projects which have a lasting impact on society. Now, this necessarily does not mean that you would be involved with a charity or with an NGO specifically, but it speaks about more leaving a kind of a legacy behind, Leos. It talks about doing something really impactful in life as far as your work is concerned. And I think this has been a sort of a build up now for almost I think a year and a half now. There has been this sense of wanting to do more, wanting to do, I would say grand, but something far more than you have been doing. It's not going to be your regular mundane job, or even if it's a, I'm sure it's a good job, but I'm saying it's going to be more than just collecting your paycheck and doing what you have to do. I think you will be involved in something far more greater. Maybe there could be expansion plans that your company is going through. Maybe the team is getting extremely expanded and you're the person who's spearheading it. Maybe it's going to another country and setting up the company's branch. So a lot of things which will have impact on a lot more people on a larger scale. Mars that is going direct in a part of your chart that has to do with higher education, higher learning, it has to do with travel. So your mind is going to be really busy. A lot of you are going to be wanting not just to learn more, but a lot of you, especially if you are seeking to study outside, I think a lot of you will actually apply to a lot of universities and will go out and pick up that degree. For some of you, you will be maybe studying or learning a new technology, maybe a new way of working, maybe it has more to do with ideology, it has to do more with learning a skill set. And so I think there could be something which is interesting for you, I think, because that is somewhere the boredom sets in, that you grasp something so fast and then the repetition of it is something that tends to create the boredom. So you could be learning, and like I said, which will be extremely good for you. So it will just expand your mind more. Along with it, a lot of you will want to travel as well. And again, I think this trend has been carrying on for you for 2011. There has just been, I think, the vagabond in you is just out, and especially if you have a Leo rising as well. So a lot of you are just going to be taking off to these lovely unknown places that you have not traveled, countries. And I think it's a again, I think you're again in a quest for expanding your mind. It's just about seeking more, learning more, understanding more, appreciation of more of different cultures, languages, people. And this is something, I think, which is the best form of learning for you. This is how you really expand your mind. It's when you travel. So I think that's great. Also, a lot of communication, Leos, a lot of communication will be happening. You will be networking very aggressively. So, and I think at some level you're going to be feeling wired literally to a larger community. So a lot of emails, SMSs, communication, conversation around maybe which has to do with your higher learning or with your travel. So it's really an extremely house which is really buzzing. Also, I think some amount of time that you're going to be spending with your siblings or with your extended family. uh, or I think a lot of conversations, maybe some decision that needs to get taken uh, with the sibling or with the extended family. So I think there will be some amount of intense conversation or discussions that seem to be happening at home with your siblings. Try not to be too impulsive or rash at this point of time, Leos, especially seeing the task at hand. And like I said, if it's a expansion or if it is you're working on a newer project or something which is requires a lot of attention and you need to be working with a lot of people, ensure that you use your knowledge, your expertise, your perseverance and your patience to work with your team. Try not to be too sharp with your tongue. I think it's this is a time where you have to take everybody along, Leos. You just cannot be doing this walk on your own and saying, I figured it all out, so it's quite all right. So do that, have the patience. I think patience will be a key along with perseverance. The rest of it, I'm sure you will manage. But like I said, don't assume that people around you will know what needs to be done after you've told them once. So there is a lot of hand holding that is expected from your side, and that is something that you have to, I think, someday you have to teach yourself that. I think that's also somewhat of a trend that has been carrying on for you since 2013 now, beginning, that having that patience with others, not necessarily that they are on the same page as you are. So that is extremely important. We have a very electric, the bad boy of astrology, Uranus, that is conjuncting with Venus, and this is happening in your ninth house. Now, Uranus is, like I said, a typical bad boy of astrology, and he refuses to sit still. So there's whichever house he enters, he tends to create chaos. And Venus being the soft and the loving energy, a lot of happiness, creativity. When she comes in contact with Uranus, there's just yes, a lot of fireworks happen, but the Uranian energy is temporary. So whatever that you may feel at this point of time, and especially this has to do with accepting others' thoughts, ideas, again cooperating, collaborating. So try not to reject ideas that come to you, Leos. Try not to sort of say that oh, I don't agree with this at all without even examining it. Give it some thought. It may just have some sense. Also, with Uranus being there, I think a lot of you will or could meet somebody who's unexpectedly, suddenly, who's not from the same country or is really different. Maybe while traveling, you'll meet this person, and it could be a very a brief or a torrid or a very, I think, a very strong attraction, or maybe even a small affair could be there. Why I'm saying an affair and not a relationship is because the Uranian energy, like I said, it's temporary. So it comes with, they enter with all the intention. They get inside the planet, and there's a huge party that happens, and then he's all out. So by the time that you may think that, oh God, I'm so, this is a person and how exciting and how charismatic and so on and so forth. But uh, wait before you sort of just rush into it and think that, oh, this is the one, and I'm sure I found the love of my life. So enjoy it for what it is, and it has its fun times also. Like I said, Uranus causes that chaos and confusion, and but Venus is there, so she should be able to balance. So it will be fun, but do not take foolish risks. Try not to put yourself into things that could, danger your safety. Don't get into maybe even situations that could get extremely awkward or difficult to get out of that. So remember that. Curb your impulsiveness. Stay away from risky stuff. Maybe if it is you're dared to do something at that point of time, just remember this, that it's quite all right, because Most of the time, once the Uranian energy is done and over with, we normally look back and we say, oh my god, what was I thinking? So, yeah, keep that in mind. Overall, like I said, we're starting with the beautiful 10th house lit up this month. So, it's a great month for you, Leos. Have a great May. I'll see you again in June. Thank you so much for watching.